Yeah, we'll do one of those giveaways or something at that point once we get to 100. But again, really grateful for everybody joining in. Going to do something a little bit different tonight. Just got a couple of Biden things that we're going to look through, and then I'm going to try and get the old TikTok hooked up. We're streaming now, live streaming over there to TikTok now as well. But what I want to do is try to connect in the multi-guest feature and see if we can take some people over the phone, just to kind of, let me know where you're at. You probably could tell where I'm at with things. That's all fine, but I want to hear where people are at, because I think that's where it becomes really interesting. You hear where people have issues what's important to them in their lives, what they see from their viewpoints. I think that's the important thing that we need to generate some dialogue and get some conversation on, something that's been lacking. It's really been lacking in the media and I think just in life in general. So maybe if we can kind of start that process, and we're the ones that help connect to one another and start connecting across the aisle and so forth. I guess another goal to try and bring people together in that regard. But before all that, I don't have my Bitcoin counter up here. Hang on. Where is that? Oh, it is over there. Hang on, bear with me, guys. I gotta kind of resize this a little bit better. I mean, it's been crazy the past few days. I'm sure y'all have at least heard the movements that are happening in the markets. Absolutely crazy. So I get my little counter up there so we can watch it as it goes. All right, there we go. Good enough for me. Maybe move this a little bit down. All right, so start off with something interesting tonight, and I find interesting. Biden had a dinner, a White House dinner. I mean, he has about a month and a half, maybe 2 months. If you go December, then January. So about 2 months left in his presidency. And they've got a White House dinner, and they look like they were having a great time. In fact, some people have commented they haven't seen Biden this happy in years. This is the happiest he's been for a very long time. And whether it's because, hey, the stress is off, you could pass the torch, whatever it might be, at least he's, you'll see in the other clips, at least he's not Angry Joe. Although I am going to miss Angry Joe, I have to admit. Angry Joe provided a lot of clips, and I'll show some of them here. I got some raw footage that I'll run through. I just posted it to the X platform. I'm going to edit it, add some commentary, and it'll be my, just remembering the Joe Biden presidency. I mean, this is how I will remember the Joe Biden presidency. A lot of people can bring up many other things. The left-leaning hosts on the various platforms, they could mention all kinds of stuff, I'm sure, but these are the ones that I'll remember him by primarily. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So we got Political ASMR number 10 tonight. Again, 10, fantastic. I really appreciate you guys helping me get to that point. And I can't remember who it was that gave me the name Political ASMR for these late evening sessions. If you're out there, throw it in the chat, or I tell you what, contact me DM or through one of the other channels that I've got listed on my profile on YouTube there. Just reach out to me, and be interested in kind of, giving you some sort of an acknowledgement for that, because that I think that really helps set the tone for me. It's just kind of like, just keep doing what you're doing, right? Yeah, it's working. So I appreciate that very much. The content that we'll review, this is actually straight off of, oh no, what happened to it? Let's throw it on top. There we go. This content is actually right on my website, politicalcow.com. Instead of just having some notes and walking through videos, you'll see for the past live streams, I put everything that I'm going over there. So, from time to time, people in the past have been like, well, where'd you get that information from or whatever? It's all just going to be there on the site, whatever I go over as a quick reference. So you could head over there if you wanted to pick up any of these videos. So let's dive in. Political ASMR number 10. You see we got AI made us a nice little Joe Biden retirement party clip here. But of course, this evening, the big to-do was a White House dinner. that's Joe. I had to squint my eyes for a second there if that was Joe or not.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you have a seat, please take it, but don't jump in the pool. Jill and I are hosting this dinner tonight for a very simple reason.
Did he really say don't jump in the pool? I mean, it's already getting going on the right foot here.
Say thank you. Thank you to so many dear friends. We began this journey to redeem the soul of the nation and to find the light in the darkness. Jill and I never could have gotten to where the White House has become without you. And we never could have gotten as much done as we did without you. And that's not hyperbole. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Maybe the most important.
He's got some lines that he repeats over and over again. That's one of them. You know, Kamala's got her unburdened by what has been. His is, that's not hyperbole. I really mean it. I mean, go back. Every single major speech he's given, when he goes, shoots from the hip for a moment, that's his go-to. That's his go-to line. So, I don't know. I'm just getting nostalgic now or something. One of those things that we won't hear again in a couple of months. Signature Joe Biden moment.
The thing you've done is lend your name, your reputation, your character to this effort. It's more than just saying we're for that administration. You put yourself on the line. And we'll never forget.
Pausing here, going to adjust the volume. Bear with me 1 second. I think it's a little low for some folks. All right, back. Let's see if that's a little bit better.
We're incredibly grateful. One thing I've always believed about public service, and especially the presidency, is the importance of asking ourselves, have we left the country in better shape than we found it?
That's an interesting question, right? There's some videos in the montage of Joe Biden that we've got there. Have we left the country in better shape than we found it? He's made comments about that quite a bit, right? The country was in bad shape. Inflation was here when I got here. And he gets called out on it, but he just kind of like breezes past it. Doesn't even faze him. So interesting that, I find in a lot of these more recent speeches that he gives and a lot of the, events or whatever they are, it's almost like he's trying to reset his legacy to a degree. He's defining the terms in which that he wants to kind of go out at this point in time. So, is my camera stuck? I feel like my camera's not moving. Well. Oh, wow. I think it is stuck. All right, I'm moving again. I was like stuck, hunched over there for a minute. I was like, what am I doing? All right, let's keep going with Biden's speech here. And that's not hyperbole. Let's see, we got a comment here. Goodwinda Floman, he's definitely leaving the country in better shape. I don't care what the MAGA what? Well, that's not very helpful. Trying to bring people together.
Tonight.
I mean, I'm all for teasing and having fun. That's, you look at my page, it's all I ever do. But we can't go there like that. We can't, hit people with those types of labels. That's what's really kind of driving people apart at this point in time, right? We need to bring people together and get them, unified, something that they have in common. All right, let's get back here.
I can say with all my heart, the answer to that question is a resounding yes, because of you. Because of you.
Yeah, Willie, I just turned over to the chat on TikTok. Yeah, come on, man. I think I've got a couple of those too coming up a little bit later. I mean, he's got a few signatures that I'm going to miss it when it's gone.
Kamala and I promised we'd have an administration that looks like America, that taps into the full talents of our nation. I look out at so many of you, our cabinet members, our White House staff, who poured their heart and soul into their work.
I always question what they mean by that statement, that looks like America. Because are they literally going through and applying the demographic percentages and everything? I don't think that's the case. It's imbalanced. And it also takes away from the idea of operating in a meritocracy, right? That we've got the best and brightest. I don't care who you are, where you came from. We've got the best and brightest helping us out, trying to do things for the American people. It's that kind of stuff that I want to hear more and more of. But anyway, again, he's working on redefining, resetting his legacy on his terms. This is who I am. This was my presidency. This is what you should remember me for, effectively, in all these speeches.
And I want to thank their families for the sacrifices they made to allow that to happen. I believe we can be proud we're leaving America in a better place today than we came into office 4 years ago. This country is living through the worst pandemic we'd seen in over 100 years. Our economy was in a tailspin. We had just witnessed something we thought we'd never, ever see in America, a violent insurrection on January the 6th, and so much more. We've come a long way since then. We passed historic legislation, often with some bipartisan support, laws that are literally going to change America, not just now, but for decades and decades to come. I know I've only been around a few days, a few years. I can't believe how long it's been. But I fully believe America is better positioned to lead the world today than any point in my 50 years of public service. Hold a second as I say to my colleagues around the world when we meet, if not America leading the world, who leads the world? I mean that literally. Think about that question. Who would lead the world if we did not step up? That's because of you. And I mean this sincerely, because of the incredible work you've done.
It's always, I mean this sincerely. I really mean it. It's just, I don't know. I'm noticing all of his kind of speech patterns and everything now. I mean, it's very predictable. You can almost count on it, right?
You should be so proud of the work you've done. You should never forget all you've done for your country. And I'm so proud we can say we've done all this with the deep belief in the core values of America, that all of us are created equal.
All right. So after a statement like that, he didn't deliver it with as much kind of pop as you would want. But after a statement like that, and then there should be some applause, he has a tendency, and I actually haven't watched this yet, so if it happens, it'll be miraculous. But he has a tendency to come back and start whispering, like, don't you know, guys? But it's like a scream in the form of a whisper. It's really strange, right? Let's see if he does it.
That everyone should be given a fair shot. That hate should have no safe harbor in America. We've stuck to our principles, set a high standard for character and integrity in public life. And I must say, I followed that standard because I had no choice. I'm Jill Biden's husband. That's the title I'm most proud of. Jill's the rock of our family. She's been one of the, I think, one of the finest first ladies in history, in my view. And those who you know Jill, you know I'm going to catch hell for saying that. Joe, don't do that in public. Don't say that. Jilly, I love you, kid. I love you. Let me close with this. A surprise to none of you. I'm going to quote an Irish poet. William Butler Yeats wrote, "Think where man's glory most begins and ends, and say, my glory was I had such friends." Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, that was a pretty good touch. Maybe that was something that it sounded like something that would have come from him too, actually. Like, hey, I want to incorporate this, put that in the speech. That was a nice touch.
As I look out over such friends, serving as President of the United States has been the honor of my life. But while our time in office is coming to an end, our cause endures.
I actually didn't understand what he just said there. I'm going to try and rewind it just a bit. I want to see if I can catch that.
For such friends, serving as President of the United States has been the honor of my life. But while our time in office is coming to an end.
Yeah, I really don't know what he just said there. I'm going to have to kind of download this clip and maybe run it through the AI and see if it could caption it for me. Even then, it does its best interpretation, but it may not get a hit. What did he just say right there? Did you guys hear it? I'm going to play it again. I'm totally missing what he says. Let me see. I'll just go right here. Let's go.
But while our time in office is coming to an end.
Blofkind, but I mean, it's a perfect speech now, right? It includes some of his, his phrases that he likes to put into play, and it has some of his gaffes and some of his unintelligible language. So I don't know. It's perfection at this point. Owen says, nothing he says matters. All right, let's keep going here.
Our cause endures.
Our cause endures. That's another interesting one. They always say that we have to keep fighting for what? For this cause. What is this cause? It could be any number of things. Who are we fighting against? That's always unclear, right? There's always something that we have to fight against, and there's always something that we're fighting for. Yet progress towards those outcomes is never really measured or clear. There's no real definition around that. Not just something taken from this speech, but it's something that's problematic, I think, across the board with a lot of Democrat Party talking points, approaches. They don't really reconcile that. And most times, too, the people that they're fighting against are the rich. And then you have to say, well, why is that? I mean, it's something that I always harp on in my lives, and so I might have to go on it again here. Excuse me while I take a sip. We have 1,000 billionaires in the country. If all their assets were taken by the government, right? Pay your fair share. Somebody says their fair share is everything. Okay, take it. It wouldn't even run the government for like half a year, right? And then what? What do you do at that point? So the old saying that you eventually run out of other people's money is totally exemplified by the nature of that. You're just doing some simple math. And so when they say increase taxes on the rich, make them pay their fair share, and everyone's like, yeah, tax them. But You don't pause and think, well, what does that mean to me personally? Are they going to hand over that money to me? Is it going to be Robin Hood economics? I stand to benefit directly from this. That's never really the case, right? That's not something that's actually on the table. And so what are they going to do with that money? Why take it then? People don't just sit on cash, right? Cash loses value over time, as we all very unfortunately know with inflation. And so folks that are very well off, wealthy billionaires, they buy assets, businesses, real estate. They develop things, right? Because they need to keep their money working. They're not just sitting on it. And so through those investments in assets that, the market needs, that's where, the benefit for society and how capitalism works. Now, I mean, that's there's some things that need to get fixed for sure, to make equal opportunity actually be there, to make the system available for folks to have a strong footing to, build their own life from. There's some systemic things to look at, but arbitrarily, we're fighting against, our fight continues. We're fighting against this. That's the stuff that I don't think is very helpful.
The journey of America. America, the America of our dreams, is calling us to stay engaged, to never give up, to keep going, to keep the faith. I know I will, and I know you will. You just remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America. And there's nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Please enjoy the dinner. Thank you, thank you.
And as he said earlier, don't jump in the pool. Now they got a whole orchestra set up here. Oh, that's it. Well, why is the video 12 minutes long if it stops at 7 minutes here? It wasn't a very long speech. All right, unusual. I'm expecting more of these dinners to happen. Not like they're just trying to party it up, but more as, thank yous, right? Holidays are coming. They'll have a holiday dinner for the staff. Then extended members of his administration that aren't always in D.C., they'll bring them in and do stuff like that. I just imagine there'll be a series of these types of dinners and events that'll be happening, and that's fine. Let them close the door. Let them, bring this to a close overall, this moment in history. But anyway, I thought it was just interesting that, this went live. It was actually broadcast real time almost as it was happening. But didn't get a chance to watch it. I watched it with you guys here. All right, let's see. Yeah, that TikTok's not doing too hot. Oh, that's okay. Hey, if you guys are on there, do me a favor and give the live some likes. Share it if you can as well. I want to see if I can kind of get bumped back into the algorithm here, and get into some good distribution. Already had maybe about 1,000 people kind of come through. Want to see if we can get some more people and get more concurrent views as we kind of go forward here. Yeah, $59 just to have dinner for the family, right? And just went to a ordinary restaurant too, I'm sure. Although McDonald's now, aren't their value meals like $15? Yeah. Anyway, I think Biden says anyway quite a bit, and it's influenced me now. Anyway, next up. So this one, I'm going to spend a little time on. I don't mean right this second, but I picked out, I think, 20 different clips that I like over the tenure. I've tried to give them themes. There's Angry Joe, creepy, and then just kind of like inept, and then it closes it out with a famous smile at the end. So I'm gonna, this is just raw footage. I published it to the X platform just to kind of put it out there, but I'm gonna edit it and kind of package it up a little bit better. But it's turning out to be kind of long. I mean, you got all these clips together. I may shorten a few of them, but it's already like a good amount of time on it. But anyway, I'm going to roll this. Interested in your thoughts on the chat for these clips as we go through here. Again, this part's in fun. Somebody earlier was a little derogatory towards conservatives. I'm poking fun, but I'm not going to go, make those good or evil type assessments of folks. I do think some people are misguided or short-sighted, but that's okay. They'll need to learn that lesson for themselves. All right, so let's get going on this. I think the first part I had some audio that I was messing with. It's not quite right yet, so excuse the audio. I think I might miss the guy as he rides off into the sunset. I might actually miss all the content he's helped me create. Let's go through some highlights. First up, my favorite Biden, angry Biden.
That's what I said. Good idea?
Well, what do you say to Vladimir Putin's threat of war, sir? It's a serious threat.
You gotta be quiet and I'm gonna make a statement, okay?
So he does this there's so many clips of him doing something like this. You got to be quiet and I'm going to make a statement, right? When he was running for the 2016 election, he was talking to some union employees, and they started questioning his Second Amendment stance, and he said, hey, like, that's a bunch of bullshit, you're lying. And one of his staffers actually came up like, okay, let's get escorted away. I think time's up, we need to go away. And he like put his arm up and said no, and then he told her to hush, and he said it very loud and abrasive, and everyone was just kind of like taken aback by it. So anyway, there's something going on in there, in him. Angry Biden's in there, and he just pops up every now and then.
All right, anyway, Mr. Prime Minister, welcome back to the White House.
Here, Mr. President.
Yeah, I'm not accomplishing behavior. What the hell? What do you do over? So when did I say I was confident?
You said in the next 6 months you'll be able to determine.
What I said was, let's get it straight. I said what will change their behavior is if the rest of the world reacts to them and it diminishes their standing in the world.
Trump needs better cabinet members instead of shills. Oh, you don't like the cabinet members that he's got? Gates was a little strange to me, the pick, but I like this Pam Bondi selection that's going on. Who else is out there? I'll have to look at the full list. I got it published. I think it's ASMR number 3 that has the list of 27 at that moment in time. Give me some feedback too, guys, if the music behind this is a little bit too loud, if I need to make it quieter or pick a different track. I'm just testing things out as I go here. Again, the video is not finalized. It's just walking through some of these clips and kind of chatting about it together here.
I'm not confident of anything. I'm just stating the fact.
But given his past behavior has not changed, and in that press conference after sitting down with you for several hours, he denied any involvement in cyber attacks. He downplayed human rights abuses. He even refused to say Alexei Navalny's name. So how does that account to a constructive meeting as President Putin?
You don't understand that. You're in your own business.
Is the summit with China? We need to load quickly. Let's go.
I want to switch gears and ask you about what happened the other day at your.
Now, this is an interesting one. Look at the proximity of the two of them, right? Watch how he kind of shifts his posture in a minute. And kind of gets in her face a little bit, right? It's a little disturbing in that way, but nothing significant happens. But just watch the body language, look at the expressions on his part, and then look at her reaction to his change in moods, right? It's very abrupt when it happens.
Town hall, because you got a lot of attention for it. A man stood up and started throwing false allegations your way about your son Hunter Biden and his work in Ukraine and your work as vice president then in Ukraine, and you responded by calling him a damn liar And then you
lied.
challenged him to push-ups, and
I
then
was
you asked
joking
him
with him
for an
because
IQ test?
No, he came along. What he said, he said he's entitled to do this. He said, you're too old. He said, you're too old. I can't vote for somebody as old as you. I said, okay. And he was challenging what kind of shape. So I kidded. I said, want to do a push-up contest? I was joking. Look, I'm in pretty good
Which is
shape.
what Donald Trump says a lot. Hey, you can't take a joke. I was joking.
No.
But the point I
Don't
bring it up.
compare me to Donald Trump.
But people.
You see that right here? You know, the finger right in her face. I mean, there's certain social cues and social behaviors that you just don't do. And I know there's a certain group that'll be like, oh, that's, you know, sexist or whatever. But as a man, there's certain things that you don't do, especially when you're in proximity like that. I mean, if you are 10 feet away or whatever, maybe that can pass. But when you're right on top of somebody like that, you don't like put your finger right. I mean, if a female, you don't put your finger right in their face like that. That's super threatening. It's super aggressive, right? I mean, there's just certain boundaries that you don't cross. And so angry Joe Biden here, although he is my favorite Biden, sometimes it crosses the line a little bit. And I don't know if it's him that eventually pulls back or there's someone behind the scenes that's like, you know, tell him like, you know, stop, do something different. But elevating his voice, you could see his expression. He's no longer jovial as he tries to be typically. He's really hot at this point. And she knows she got him on it, but which is for a good interview. But at the same time, it's like, oh, like, you know, I'm sure thoughts cross her mind, like, is there going to be an altercation here? For example, during the Trump administration, Jim Acosta famously grabbed the microphone, pulled it out of a young lady's hand that was, you know, running the microphone to the different, different people in the press pool. He grabbed the microphone, like pulled her hand off of it, and she like froze for a second there because it was a little too much of a physical, you know, interaction there. That he was kind of aggressive with her. Trump was trying to jump off the stage, but there's no stairs anywhere nearby. But that's what that kind of reminds me of. It's just in reverse this time. It's the candidate and the reporter. Well, I'll let this continue, and you guys can observe with me.
At the town hall I was just at. Yes, they did.
Well,
they said to me, the woman you met at the end, 94-year-old.
Hey, and if you guys could give the live some likes, I'm trying to get myself boosted up in the algorithm there, I'd appreciate it.
Mary said to me, I was so disappointed in him. This is a direct quote. That is not the Joe I know. He sounded like Donald Trump in that clip.
Well, look, what Donald Trump says, he makes fun of people. He belittles people. He lies. I don't do any of those things, period. The fact of the matter is this guy stood up and he wasn't.
All right, so Cosmic Flow. I guess you're very familiar with this particular interview. He's saying that the interviewer went off script, and that's why he got mad. So the source of the anger, okay, that's one thing, but how you react is fully within his control. And I still hold that I don't think his reaction here is appropriate, and it is over the top. But, you know, good context, though. There are many times that the reporters, kind of commit to a certain line of questioning, and, hey, I've got them here. Maybe I'll throw something else out. I mean, famously now, Brett Baer met with, I should run that interview again. That was like greatest show on earth for that point in time. But Brett Baer started really pushing and asking questions that I'm sure were not agreed to in advance. It really caught Harris off guard in that interview. So it happens quite a bit. I mean, it's happened to Trump quite a bit as well. Let's see, what else we got here? Not Dementia Joe. Biden's angry because he can't remember where he is or how he got there most of the time. I'd be angry too. I'm sorry, hold on. All right, you got me with that one. All right, let's keep going. Let's see how this one finishes up.
Fact, lying. And I just pointed out, you're a liar. It's a fact. He lied. Period. And so, you know, maybe I shouldn't have kidded with him about that, you know, let's do push-ups. It's like I was out here in a parade, a 4th of July parade.
So I am actually familiar with that other interview that he, not interviews, it's kind of like a mini town hall, right? You just show up at a school cafeteria and a bunch of people get together and ask you questions. When he talked about the push-ups, talking about the condition and the shape, he was directly targeting the other gentleman for not being in the best shape. So he was being insulting with it. You could watch that over again. Maybe I should find it and put it in here actually as a supplement to this so that there's context. But it's interesting though, that was exactly his intent. And now he's kind of walking that back with this reporter, who, again, this reporter talked to folks that were there at the time, and they told her, they expressed their disappointment as to, you know, his response to that gentleman. And of course he hit a nerve asking about his son. And that was his response. But nevertheless, it's always the case, especially with politicians. Perception is everything. Hard to get a second chance with folks to reestablish your identity. So it's a serious watch point. And so why he's kind of gone astray from being like a smooth operator that he's been his whole career, you have to attribute that to, his age and his, where he's at from a capability standpoint. I mean, it did impact him, and this is the outcome of those things, right? Now let's see, we got a couple more comments here. Does the word appropriate exist in politics? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I still don't think it was very nice that he called out the guy for being out of shape. I mean, that was probably very embarrassing for him. A lot of people go up there to ask a question. Not many people are good public speakers, open to, asking a question in a large forum like that, and then asking a question of somebody who is, a high-ranking public official, almost a celebrity, right? So that had to be difficult for him. And when he had that, turned back on him, even if he asked a question that was trying to trigger Biden, when he had that turned back on him, I'm sure it was a very uncomfortable situation for him. And so Biden, those are the types of things that he needs to think about. As a candidate, you have to, it's not like, all right, well, I'm just going to annihilate anybody that tries to, throw a jab at me. You got to be smoother than that. You got to just kind of like sidestep it, grin, shake it off. I mean, people are looking at you if they want to vote for you or not. They don't want to see somebody that's just steamrolling over anybody that questions them, right? That they don't feel comfortable with that. Hey, I appreciate the subscription there. Mean tweets. Yeah, the mean tweets are mean. They were mean. All right, I'm going to keep going here.
I think people's point was, in this time when you talk about needing to restore civility, it's so important to so many people.
That's not civil? To call someone who lied a lie?
Do I do analysis into other countries' politics? I don't. The only other country I even delve into at all, honestly, is Canada. But Trudeau just kind of, I really can't stand the guy, so it's hard for me to consistently do that. If you go through my channel, you probably see a couple of Trudeau clips, but by and large, it's U.S. politics, primarily focused on whatever administration's in office. But yeah, JOJ? Okay. Well, JOJ, is there a particular country you think I should take a look at?
Damn liar, a voter. This isn't
President
Trump.
Lying. He's lying. You acknowledge what he said wasn't even true. None of the mainstream media believes any of that was true.
I think it was the tone. It was the tone that was off-putting to people.
As my mother said, God love you, dear.
President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
So this is kind of quiet. I need to enhance the voice and kind of make it louder without too much static behind it. Not pretty easy to do now, but she asks that question, do you think you could get a deal, right? And her tone, I'm just going to assume positive intent. She's trying to be friendly, get his attention. And his response back was, do you think you could hit your head on that camera there behind you? Or something to the effect of that. Which again, it's like, where did Angry Joe just pop out from, right? He's here. I think he was sitting with Zelensky. Or no, it was I think it was ambassador from Israel, possibly. But again, just Angry Joe just like pops up. And you hear him, all right, and he kind of redirects his attention. Just, it's like no big deal to him, right? He doesn't feel it. I don't know what's up with that. Right? That's a little weird to me that you could just kind of shake it off like that. And, you know, depending on the reporter, if they're new or what have you, this might be a little, hard for them or difficult, which I get. Somebody's going to be like, well, Trump's hard on these reporters too. Yeah, he is. Absolutely is. Hey, JOJ says Canadian here. Yeah, Marble Kai. Just wondering about Canada. Mofo's creating a deeper mess. Yeah. All right, let's keep going here.
Thank you all. Mr. President.
One more, sir. You campaigned.
All right, so this young guy, I feel bad for him. I mean, look at him, right? It's like he just graduated high school practically, right? He's an intern somewhere. They probably gave him a question to ask because, what am I going to ask? I don't know. Just to get him some experience and give him a moment to kind of remember his internship. I really don't know if he's an intern or not. I'm making assumptions, but look at the guy, right? So, again, as an adult and as a politician, you think that you would make note of those types of things, right?
And you ran on a return to civility. And I know that you dispute the character.
Simon, am I worried about the reporter? I was just more focused on the behavior that Biden was exhibiting when he was aggressive towards the female reporter. That was kind of giving me pause, like, oh, this is a character issue. Like, you didn't like just click in your head, like, okay, I need to kind of make some distance because I'm getting upset. I need to like take a breath, reassess here. He just escalated it immediately. None of that was part of his thinking. But again, here, a young kid. I mean, to me, he's clearly looking like an intern, but let's watch the response.
That you called folks who would oppose those voting bills as being Bull Connor or George Wallace, but you said that they would be sort of in the same camp.
No, I didn't say that. Look what I said. Go back and read what I said and tell me if you think I called anyone who voted on the side of the position taken by Bull Connor that they were Bull Connor. And that is an interesting reading of English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write.
So did you...
So, I mean, that's pretty aggressive. And, I mean, this may be the first time he's ever asked a high-ranking official a question, right? And so the first chance he gets, it's the president. And I mean, he's just struggling now to get the words out.
Back that would work with Senators Manchin or Sinema.
No, here's the thing.
I mean, you hear his voice crack, it's like a seventh grader kind of voice cracking there happening. I mean, he's really like under some pressure here. It's unfortunate, right? You got to recognize these things as a leader, as a human. Pick up on some of this stuff, right? You might be upset about something didn't go right. They didn't do the right thing. When you go to speak to them, it should hit you like, okay, they need some coaching. They don't need a reprimand, right? So this could have been done much better. But anyway, the best moments of Joe, though, come out as Angry Joe, though. So let's keep going.
There's certain things that are so consequential. You have to speak from your heart as well as your head.
I mean, certain consequential, speak from your heart as well as your head. I mean, this is some good stuff now.
I was speaking out forcefully on what I think to be at stake. That's what it is. And by the way, no one.
And by the way, it never fails. And by the way, right? You're more worried about the senior moment. Oh, man, yeah. Well, I mean, those go without saying at this point.
No one forgets who was on the side of King or Bull Connor. No one not done that. The history books will note it. And when I was making the case, don't think this is a freebie. You don't get to vote this way and then somehow it goes away. This will stick with you the rest of your career and long after you're gone.
And Mr. President,
You're going to pay somewhere between.
Okay, so I don't know what happened after that one with the clip. He was trying to do a follow-up, but I'm assuming that they moved on from that point. So this one here is the interesting behavior that Biden has where he will kind of like whisper something or mumble something, and then he gets really hyped up and then just starts yelling at you. He starts yelling at everybody in the crowd, and it just kind of catches people off guard. I did not alter the audio on this, and I'm pointing that out because you'll see once it rolls here. But the audio is unaltered. I think for this segment, I'm not going to mess with the audio. The rest of them I'll correct and enhance the voices so you can hear a little bit more clearly. But the point of this one is to kind of show the he just kind of like flips a switch sometimes.
20 and 40% less in those other countries. Same exact drug, made by the same exact company.
So just all of a sudden got infuriated by the pharmaceutical companies and just started yelling that stuff out. And I wonder sometimes, is it truly anger, or does he feel that he's really making a point and getting through to people, and he's in his mind being passionate about something? I don't know. You guys let me know, but it happens often enough, and it's mostly during speeches. And he looks around too, like, did you feel it? Did you feel that? You with me or whatever? And the room's silent because they're just kind of looking at him like, what the heck just happened here? You know what I mean? Here, I got to see this one again. This is one of my favorites.
You're gone.
and Mr. President,
You're going to pay somewhere between 20 and 40% less in those other countries. Same exact drug, made by the same exact company.
I can't get enough of this. I'm sorry, y'all. This is like good stuff to me. I'd much rather watch this all day long than go watch a movie. That sounds terrible. But let me see if we got anything else in the chat. Seems normal to me, says GX. All right. Take the L, bro. All your guys lost your favorite person. We lost our favorite person? Netanyahu? I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I got to dive into the news here. Truer words were never said. This is political theater, absolutely. This is absolute political theater.
I'd like to ask you real quick, so where do you stand? You said last week that this report about migrant families at the border getting payments was garbage.
No, I didn't say that. Let's get it straight. You said everybody coming across the border gets $450,000.
So the number was what you had a
The
problem with.
number I was referring to.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
Sure.
If, in fact, because of the outrageous behavior of the last administration, you coming across the border, whether it was legal or illegal, and you lost your child, it's gone.
So this one might actually be a political technique. He was being questioned about benefits given to, the illegal aliens that cross. You name it, the housing, the debit cards, so forth. That was the intent of the question. And skillfully, he changed it towards, kids being separated from their parents and saying there must be compensation when this happens because something wrong was done. So this redirect, this is a pretty good political tact if that's in fact what he did. I don't know, because there's so many instances of Angry Joe just popping up out of nowhere and kind of ruining everyone's day. But here, I'll let him finish up here.
You deserve some kind of compensation, no matter what the circumstance. What that will be, I have no idea.
There you go. Right. So that's where I think it's political, right? He heard the question, needed to sidestep it, associated a completely different topic with it. Talked about it forcefully with passion to kind of push back on the reporter, not have him do a follow-up. And then he is non-committal again in terms of the compensation. Like what that'll be, I have no idea. So he basically said a bunch of nothing. But I do think this case might have been some political technique involved here, which masterfully done. Were we supposed to trust him to remember what he said? I don't know. I feel like maybe he has moments of clarity, right? Where things work, it all clicks. And then we have those blank stares, reaching out to shake hands with ghosts. Very sad stuff. Walking backwards on the stage. Somebody has to kind of help him, escort him in the right direction. Ruining everyone's day. Whose day did he? I do enjoy this stuff. I was looking at the intern there. I assumed he was an intern, right? Like he's all excited. I'm going to ask the president a question, and then he yells at him, right? I was talking about that kid. Situations like that, right? But yeah, I can't get enough of this stuff. Personally, I can't get enough of it. But hey, if you guys are enjoying the political ASMR this evening, hit the like button, subscribe to, try and do this more and more. We got a holiday week coming up, so may not be as consistent, and I recommend everybody spend some time with their family as well. But give me some likes just to help boost me up there in the algorithm. We can spread political AMR far and wide. Now let's keep going with Joe Biden.
I have no idea.
But you're saying the DOJ negotiating a settlement.
So I'm sick of this stuff. We have to talk about it because the American people think the reason for inflation is government spending more money. Simply not true.
Wait, what? Let's hear that again.
Negotiating a settlement.
So I'm sick of this stuff. We have to talk about it because the American people think the reason for inflation is government spending more money. Simply not true.
That's an interesting statement, right? The reason American people think there's inflation is because the government's spending more money. Simply not true. And so it's like, okay, which part of that are you saying is not true? The correlation with inflation, the government spending more money, which it is. It spends more every year. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it spends more every year. The correlation to inflation, I'll give you my breakdown, right? Kind of going on a side quest here with it, but Bill Clinton famously would say, I balance the budget, right? A lot of other politicians in states too, they say, I balanced the budget and we had a surplus and this and that, right? And they speak of balancing the budget as though that's, a great feat, but they should really be more accurate and say that they were able to only, spend based on the revenue that was taken in through taxation and through fees and other things that they collect. The budget always has to balance at the federal level. I mean, there's just no other way about it. And so if they don't pull in enough revenue and they've overspent because they committed to a lot of new wonderful programs, then you have to print. So if the revenue's not there, you print to make up the difference. And when you initiate a $2 trillion infrastructure Inflation Reduction Act type scenario and send hundreds of billions in foreign aid, there was no increase in revenue tied to that. So where did that money come from? So in this case, government spending in excess was directly correlated to inflation. The budget had to balance. There's just no other way about it. All right. Back to Joe Biden.
Mr. President, as you know, last Tuesday,
This was a great interview, this 60 Minutes one. I may replay it at some point and just kind of like relive it with everybody here. But this interview, there was another one with Lester Holt. I think I got a clip on that one a little bit later. There's a few of them along the way that just as the media started to turn on him, it really became revealing how much difficulty he was having, how long this had been going on. Hey guys, give me some likes. I'm stuck at 11. Give me some help here. But how long this has been going on. And then if you start to backtrack from that, you would see interviews MSNBC did where he literally fell asleep in the middle of the interview, to the point where the interviewer was like reaching his hand out and trying to kind of like, oh, no, please don't fall, right? But they gave those like a complete pass, right? And then as the electability started to decline, then the media started to turn, right? Then they started to speak truth more. But let's go with this 60 Minutes interview. And again, in the theme of, Joe just kind of like flipping a switch.
the annual inflation rate came in at 8.3%. The stock market nosedived. People are shocked by their grocery bills. What can you do better and faster?
Well, first of all, let's put this in perspective. Inflation rate month to month was just an inch, hardly at all.
So when he said that at the time, and even now, I wonder how well he even understands how these metrics work, how inflation is measured, right? Because a lot of people say, like, I'm going to vote, or we're saying when I would go live, and, have multi-guests or just in chat or whatever, they'd say, like, Kamala's, going to be reducing inflation, prices are going to come down. There's a disconnect there when they say inflation's going down. It's how quickly prices are increasing. Like, the prices are going to increase slower. That means inflation's going down. They're still going up. They're just going up less fast, right? But they're just going to continue to go up. Like, are they going to go up by 1%, 2%, or are they going to go up by 10%? They're still going up. In certain pockets, yeah, they may go back. They may, go negative in that regard. But when you average out everything in aggregate, everything's going to be heading up. And so in these interviews, when he's like, oh, it just went up just a teeny bit, no big deal. We're already sitting at like 8.5% or whatever, and it went to 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, whatever it was at that point in time. And that's just like the inflation is sustaining itself. That's a problem. We need to see it break. That's what people need to see, right? That's the disconnect that he's having here. Hey, I appreciate it, Linda. Thanks. This is Political ASMR. As some folks named it recently here.
Not arguing that 8.3 is good news.
No, I'm not saying it's good news, but it was 8.2 or 8.2 before.
And again, he thinks the fact that it only went up by 0.1% is a win. A win would be when it starts declining and normalizing. And if you can, even if it normalizes and it's at 2%, prices have still increased quite a bit. I mean, everybody knows it at this point. What the answer should be then is, how do you help people bounce back out of that? How do you encourage wage growth to match this, right? That's the answer. Giving people like a real opportunity to get back to the standard of living that they were at. 22. This was 22. This was 22. Hang on a second. I missed a couple of chats here. What do you think will happen if prices do not go down under Trump? Will anyone care? I guess you're saying. Well, I mean, prices aren't going down. It's just that dynamic. He wants to focus on energy to increase supply, so that stabilizes, so that prices don't skyrocket to 150 a barrel again. There's multiple facets around that. Europe's already saying they're open to taking our LNG imports. There's national security things associated with that. But there's more systemic things to address to help get everyone, back on a level footing from inflation, where prices ran away from folks. We need to get the wages and standard of living back where it needs to be. And it can't be through like dictation, like, this is now the minimum wage for everybody, right? I don't have an answer. I'm interested in hearing what their answer is to it, but something in the system needs to get fixed to accommodate that.
It's not, maybe I can make it sound like all of a sudden, my God, it went to 8.2%. It's
the highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years.
I got that. But guess what we are? We're in a position where for the last several months it hasn't spiked. It is just barely, it's been basically even.
Will you take any blame for inflation, Mr. President?
Am I taking blame for inflation? No.
Why not?
Because it was already there when I got here, man. Remember what the economy was like when I got here?
So, he's gone back and forth on that quite a bit. You look at 22, 23 versus comments he made when he first took over in 21. It's like night and day at that point. And I mean, this is my simple logic around it, right? During COVID, we had to spend massive amounts of money. There was just no better answer, right? If we wanted to sit there and hash it out for a month and, let the ivory tower decide a better way of going about it, it would have cost a lot of heartache or hardship on people. Like, we needed immediate action. And even if a bunch of it didn't make it to the right source, sometimes it's better to do something than to do nothing, or do something that's very delayed. Start chipping away at the problem right away if you know you have some answer that might help. And so that's what they did. $2 trillion of stimulus was passed under Trump. He was reluctant about it because as a businessman, it's like, wait, that's a lot. I don't know what the end result is going to be. We need to do some more analysis, but there's just no time. All right, we got to do it. There was no choice at that point, right? Complete catastrophe if you didn't address it. Where there was a choice was a year later when the Inflation Reduction Act, in quotes, was passed for yet another $2 trillion. And then we had more foreign aid in the hundreds of billions going out. Those were active choices. You didn't have to do those spending packages. And as I was mentioning earlier, there were no new revenue sources. So where did the money come from? It was all the printing press. And so we peaked at around 9% for inflation. And let's just stick to the $2 trillion during COVID and then $2 trillion related to inflation reduction and some of those other stimuluses. $2 trillion from each president. If the second batch was not done, would we have only hit 4.5% inflation? And we could have managed that and come back. But 9 was just astonishingly high. That had huge ramifications across the board. So, in my view, and it's just simplifying the math, I'm sure there's somebody out there that could, give us the calculus on it, but the second batch was discretionary, and that was a choice. And I don't believe it was the right choice. Because, again, I don't see the product or where's the outcome of that $2 trillion. What benefit did the country get in aggregate? Because that's a lot of money. Where did it go? And yet everybody's paying the consequence of the associated inflation.
I listen to them.
In your last TV interview, you were asked if you had watched the debate. Your answer was, I don't think so, no. Have you since seen it?
I've seen pieces of it. I've not watched the whole debate.
And the reason I ask, because I guess the question is, are you all on the same page? Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
So that was a hard one for Lester, right? To say you appeared to be confused. He struggled assembling the right words because he was trying to put it in the right way, and there's just no good way of saying it, right? And he's saying it to the president. That had to not be a highlight of his career. Having a moment like that. I mean, you always want to be the hard-hitting one, digging deep, asking a difficult question. This is a different circumstance. It's somebody, kicking them while they're down, kind of, right? I'm sure that didn't feel good for Lester.
So look.
Oh, and the theme now here is, Joe's demise. So we're past Angry Joe. Now we're in Joe's demise.
Why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told?
Although even during his demise, he flipped the switch.
Where are you on this? Why didn't the press ever talk about that? 28 times it's confirmed he lied in that debate.
So he's doing his angry whisper. He's pulling out all the Bidenisms here.
I had a bad night. I wasn't feeling well at all. And I had been, without it making it, I screwed up. But
I just asked the question because the idea that you may or may not have seen what some of these other folks have seen, you're not on the same...
I'd have to see I was there. I'd have to see it, I was there. And by the way, seriously, you won't answer the question, but why didn't the press talk about all the lies he told?
Well,
I haven't heard anything about that.
We have reported many of the issues that came up during that debate.
No, you haven't.
We'll provide you with them.
God love you.
Okay.
Are you for...
Yeah, that's there's more clips. Maybe I could just get more clips to work in there on that, the demise portion. I mean, in fact, there's good clips during the debate that you could bring into the mix too. Trump had some one-liners that were, they're just iconic at this point. I don't know. In some respects, it's sad. I had somebody on one of my lives that I don't remember his exact role, but he was a psychiatrist specializing in folks with some of this, like I don't know what the right term is, but dementia-like scenarios. Anyway, he kind of broke down like the way he walks, the gait, the posture, the kind of blank looks. He walked down through a lot of those behaviors, and he was saying that those are actually very direct indicators of Alzheimer's, right, or of a growing in significance. Which I don't know. I've got his comments on one of my videos. You'll have to go pretty far back on the feed, probably April-ish of this year. But anyway, it's one of those things that's just kind of, again, the demise connected to the level of competency. Why did they, why didn't they call this out sooner, right?
Trump or non-Trump? Because there is no non-Trump. The person's name is Joe Biden, and he too has a record and a lot of really creepy statements, actions for sure, but statements that he's made in the past that make me very uncomfortable.
So this is the part where we kick off Creepy Joe. So we had Angry Joe, we had the demise, and we have Creepy Joe. I may have to sequence that a little bit better, but yeah, actually, this is gonna be a long video. I might have to spend some time on this. There's a lot of content that can get pulled together. Pulled together here.
Certainly as a mother, but as a person who breathes air and exercises brain capacity, it makes me very uncomfortable that he would look at certain other Americans the way he apparently has in the past. And so it's a choice between the two of them. He has said he will undo the Trump tax cuts immediately. That would slap on about $1,200 per household in taxes, or at least that's what they saved on average. We're going to get rid of the child care tax credit at a time when people really need it. you raise taxes on corporate America and businesses again, you're going to affect the entire economy, because this president reduced the corporate tax rate.
All right, so I think I'm just going to focus in on her comment where she's talking about how it makes her feel uncomfortable, the creepiness. I'm going to try to zip forward just a little bit because this, I think the second part of it needs to get edited. Okay, maybe it'll conclude right here.
Millions and millions of Americans got bonuses and or raises, many more jobs created.
Look at Dan. Now, the very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys in your 30s.
Okay.
Right?
No what?
No serious guys to your 30s.
I'll keep that in mind. At least.
Yep. I mean...
Secretary Austin?
I do.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, how you doing? What is that? What's going on here? Look how uncomfortable she is.
Adoption, do I prefer not to tell you earlier?
But guess what? We got a lot to do. Gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway, this woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway.
She was 12, I was 30. She helped me get an awful lot done. I'm just quoting. I have no more commentary.
And I want to say one thing to your children. I know some really great ice cream places around here. And Daddy owes you. Okay? So talk to me afterwards. Folks, thanks.
Oh, this one's good. I got to replay it. Sorry. I paused it at the wrong moment. We got to replay this one. Let me just mute that music that's associated with it so I don't get called out on it. Watch it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Watch the look on their face, too. They're like, whoa, whoa. His buddy saw it, too. His buddy's laughing at him. Look at this. Like, whoa. What is that? It's like, man, just give me a firm handshake. Like, what was that about? You know what I mean? Do I have a clip of Kellyanne Conway talking about alternative facts? I can grab one. I can grab it. You think it would fit in this mix somewhere? Probably a good one just to have in your back pocket, though. Ooh, 87 votes so far. Guys, if you haven't done so already, vote in the poll. Has inflation impact you, or did inflation impact you? And if you haven't already, please give the live some likes. I need more likes. Help me kind of get some traction. Because all funds I get off this, maybe I'll put it towards attending the inauguration and do live streams from there or something. All right, so closing out this this set of videos, an iconic moment that is on plenty of memes out there now.
Can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir? Be on the ballot, sir?
We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir,
It was epic.
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
I need to find a higher quality clip. I mean, that's the last one I got here. But I got to find a higher quality clip on that one. That was just extraordinary. Usually his MO is somebody will throw out a question that strikes him. He stops, goes back to the mic, answers it off the cuff, and his people are just totally like freaking out about it, right? But this one, I don't know. This is like another level where he just turns, gives that winning smile, and then continues to walk off. Unbelievable.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
There we go. And that concludes the raw footage. Looks like I need more. There's more stuff that can kind of go into it. But the key themes, Angry Joe, Demise, Creepy Joe, Is there another Joe that needs to be included in here? I don't know. What do you guys think? I appreciate whoever's giving the thumbs up on the live. I appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please give the live a like. But who's what's another Joe that we could bring in the mix? Let me see if I can shut down. Hey, Seamus, I see you over there on TikTok. I'm going to shut down the TikTok feed and restart it so that I can take guests. The way I'm streaming right now doesn't allow multi-guest because I'm streaming through a third party into TikTok, not through their app directly at the moment. You thought about the time you voted for Trump? That smile. How about locker room talk, Joe? Locker room talk. Like Don. Did he have moments like that? I don't know. I mean, there's so many clips of him just like putting his hands on people. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It gets to be a bit much. Why does Biden never get a pass, but Trump always does? My view on that is that Trump never pretended, nor did anybody see him as a saint, you know, on his programs and everything. He's an SOB, and that's, I mean, expect no less. I mean, I hate to say it that way. It's all about expectation. Biden portrays like, you know, perfect politician, all-American guy, so forth, right? Old school politician. I think that's the variance, right? And then when these moments pop up, it's kind of like, oh, look. But Trump is like, we never expected him to be a model of virtue in that respect. How's my day going? Says Michael. I'm doing good. I hope everybody's doing good here on live too. I hope you guys got plans for the Thanksgiving week. I should have put a Thanksgiving poll out there. Made it match the season a little bit. Same as Joe Scarborough. Yeah. What was it? 2 more months and that's it. Yeah, so I think they're gonna spend. So I had a speech that he gave. It was a very short one earlier at the White House dinner that they just had here recently, and it seems like they may have a few more of those, and then they'll kind of see their way out. But Joe was very smiley. He was very happy. Seemed very relaxed, which is, I think, a good thing for him. Portrays the perfect politician. He tries to. I don't think he does at all with all the different personalities we identified today. But the old school politician that tries to portray that image. A lot of them are old as dirt. You're right. I want Mitch McConnell out, to be honest. I don't think he's helping anything. You could go down the list, a lot of them. And, you know, for me, always term limits, very helpful. 2 terms as a senator, 4 as a member of the House, and then you're good to go. Let's get somebody else in there, get some new ideas, get somebody who's still connected to the real world, because honestly, after you've just been sitting in Washington for 40 years, do you really know what's going on in the real world? Like how, you know, what needs people have? Because so few of the representatives actually go out and talk to people and see how things get done and see, you know, many different people and many different ways that people live. They might see one instance and they kind of assume that's how everything works, right? But yeah, old as dirt, and we need him to kind of get out of here. All right, I'm going to try and shut down the TikTok feed as it stands now. All right. TikTok is going down. Boom, it's down. Okay. Let me see if it's down over here too, so it doesn't try to start it back up. Okay. All right, let me see if I could connect in my phone. So here's my setup. You gotta, I mean, I use a Mac, so I can't use their desktop software to do multi-guest live streams on TikTok, so I have to use my phone. So my setup is that I'm going to broadcast my phone through here. Oop, let me move this little buddy out of the way. I'll broadcast my phone, and maybe we'll be able to kind of do two things at once here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. Oh, I need to make a background first. Well, I guess I'll tell you what. I'll let you guys watch me do the background, just so I'm not sitting here. Whoops. Whoa. Messing things up as I go here. Where is the iPhone? All right, let me scale it back here, guys, a little bit. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's get a image going for the TikTok. Oh, I need to put this on the live. Bear with me, guys. I need to put this thumbnail on the live for YouTube. I didn't do that. Can you do that, or do you have to wait till the live is over? I thought you could put a thumbnail on beforehand. Where did that go? Closed captions. Manage. Edit description. Okay, it doesn't look like I can edit the thumbnail while the live is going on. That's okay. I'll do it afterwards. What is going on with my phone feed here? Are you guys seeing it going crazy? All right, hopefully that'll stick. All right, I got to change the, whoops, move back tic-tac. Change the orientation to be like that. Don't want that one on there. Scoot it off. We do want this to be larger. And fill in the rest. What the heck just happened? Get out of here. And I'll pick another. No, I'll just use this overlay. That's fine. Oops. How did I do that? All right, got my background set. Now, if you get, oh man, it's jacked up again. What the heck? Hang on. I'm just going to delete this connection and remove it. Yeah, remove it. Okay, give me a video capture. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to tell it to use buffering so it can do a better job, hopefully, here. Okay. All right. So if I get this right, we'll be able to get people to... Is it tweaking still? Doggone it. It looks solid to me now. Okay, I'm just double checking it on the live stream feed that it's showing on YouTube. It looks like it's solid now. If it starts tweaking too much, I'll just cut this part out for now. I'll now have to figure out what's going on with the thing. All right, I'll tell it. There we go. And there's my background, just like that. Say we're the political ASMR. I'll set a live goal. I don't even know what these things are. Boom. Okie dokie. Chat and interview. That sounds good to me. And we shall go live now. Let me just make sure that we're monitoring the output. Video capture device 2. All right, good deal. Okay, so anybody that's on YouTube right now, if you want to, I don't know, share your thoughts, talk about what's going on out there, head over to the TikTok app. I mean, it's simulcasting on both here, but on TikTok, I can take guests for people to just, you know, share your opinion. The selections that are going on. I'm not going to try to debate anybody. I mean, this is of course political ASMR. I may ask questions. We can discuss. You can ask me questions. That's perfectly fine. But my goal is to give people a chance to kind of, you know, express their thoughts and talk about, you know, what's influencing them, what they find interesting at the moment. So head over to TikTok. Give the TikTok a like. Looks like we got 14 people jumping in already. And let's see if we can get some conversations going. And I'll see if it'll simulcast over to YouTube. So on YouTube, if you guys are sticking over there, let me know if you start hearing the conversations from the TikTok. Looks like we got the Seamus here. Famous Seamus. Seamus, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Awesome. It's not echoing for you or anything, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Ah, shoot. All right, try now.
Testing. Testing. Yeah, but there's still an echo.
Yeah,
I can hear myself after a couple seconds.
Shoot, I don't know how to get rid of that. Darn it. So I'm literally like plugging my phone into the live stream on YouTube, and it's just broadcasting the screen. I don't hear an echo, but I don't know what would cause it to loop back on you like that.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't hear like I don't hear an echo on here. I don't hear an echo, but I can hear myself. But I can hear myself.
I wonder if it's because I got the audio going through the... When you connect your iPhone on a Mac like this and you use it to display video, the audio gets sent to the built-in speakers. And so I wonder if that's kind of causing the echo. Hang on a sec. Let me see if I can fix that. Just lower the volume a little bit. All right, let's give that a shot. Is that any better?
Testing.
Is that better for you?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Now I made it too low that I cannot hear a thing. So I'm going to kick it up one more notch, and hopefully that'll be right now. Okay. I hope I got it now. Good to go?
Check. 1, 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, 3.
Did that work out?
Yeah, still an echo, but not as loud.
Okay. Well, shoot. I don't even know what do I move to make the echo go away. Anyway, so what's going on, Seamus? How you been?
Pretty good. Got a raise at work.
Nice. I like the sound of that.
How do you feel about Trump's cabinet?
I thought Gates was bizarre in terms of a selection. Whether or not the stuff's true or not, it's not about that. It's just the baggage that comes along with it, right? So for a moment, I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And then it just, of course, it blew up on him, right? Just as expected. And, well, now it seems like he should have chose Pam Bondi from the start. She seems like actually the perfect person to have done that, given that she was already the AG for Florida.
You see how fast the left is activated, though, when Republicans get into power?
Yeah, it really kind of jumped into gear there.
Yeah, you can't get them to budge an inch when they are in control. They say, "Oh, you just got to vote for the lesser two evils, and then we'll push them left," and then that doesn't happen. But when Republicans get in, they wake up all of a sudden.
Yeah. Something's going on with my connection too. It's getting flashes of green on YouTube with the thing, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. Figure out a better way.
The one pick I really didn't like was Rubio.
You don't like Rubio as the pick?
Yeah, and I'll say this: I actually supported him in 2016, but I think he's way too hawkish on foreign policy, and I think Trump is kind of inadvertently giving a lifeline to the neocon wing of the party, because I think Rubio wants to use this as a springboard to run in 2028.
You know, it really does set him up for that, and I wonder. You know, they built some good rapport over the past 8 years or so, right? But I wonder if that's an intentional thing. He's got Vivek, he's got JD, he's elevating Rubio status. Well, I don't know how old Pam Bondi is, but I mean, there's people that he's elevating, right, that are way younger than the current set of folks that are in charge of the Senate or, running for president.
Well, that'll bode well, especially when the Democrats nominate John Fetterman.
Oh, wow. I hope they do. Please let that happen. That would be the most remarkable choice I've ever... I should actually push for that now. Maybe we should open up our own political action committee to help make that happen.
Yeah. The United Strokes of America.
Looks like we got another person on here, Lolly. Let's get Lolly up here. Lolly, what's going on? How you doing this evening?
Hey,
or this late?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We might be on the same political side, so this may be boring. But what you guys just say about John Fetterman?
Let's start a PAC. Well, this is what I'm saying. Let's start a PAC to try to get him to be the Democrat candidate in 2028 for the presidency.
Well, I honestly might actually vote for that dude. He's off the wall. He says the craziest shit.
I'm just doing it for content. I'll be just honest.
Sure
there'll be some good stuff.
I made a video, PoliticalCow, where I said I think it should be Biden because it would be so like the Democrats to do that.
Yeah. It would. I just John Fetterman said some wild stuff, and on every single issue, he's got some kind of crazy thing to say. Doesn't wear a suit.
Yeah.
I would love to see him. be inaugurated in that ugly freaking Carhartt hoodie and cargo shorts.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding. Man. So what do you guys think about? So what are you guys saying? He's going to be the next president? I don't think anybody's voting for him. I don't think he has the support at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the neocon wing of the party is on its way out. I think Trump nominating him kind of absent-mindedly throws a lifeline to that wing of the party, keeps it relevant, because I believe Rubio will use this appointment as a launching pad to run for president again.
I don't think there's any way Rubio gets well, oh no, if he's a neocon, he'll have support. They won't be against him like Trump, will they?
Yeah, he'll have the Dick Cheneys of the world supporting him, but I don't know if like the populist wing of the party will beat enough.
Yeah, suddenly McCain's going to be a Republican again. The daughter.
With
Secretary of State.
Who, Meghan McCain?
Yeah. Suddenly she'll be a Republican. She came out for Harris, didn't she?
Oh, I don't know.
I think so.
I didn't hear about that. Wow. Well, with all this stuff, there's a bit of bad blood there, I guess. Yeah.
Have y'all ever seen Tim Dillon's video of making fun of her?
No, of Meghan McCain.
Yeah, he puts on a blonde wig and red lipstick and pretends to be her. He says the funniest shit. He said, my father started 7 wars, and Donald Trump, that fucking riverboat casino captain, is always talking shit about my father.
Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna have to wind down the TikTok side. It's echoing on my YouTube side too much. People are complaining here.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Shoot. I'll have to figure out how to make this work so I can kind of like link up both sides, because sometimes people use Discord to get people to come in, but I thought if I could make TikTok work and connect the two, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, what are you on YouTube?
It's Real Political Cow.
Political Cow?
Okay. Yeah, it's Real Political Cow on YouTube. I've got a link tree that links to all my socials also in the profile.
Got it. Well, hey, thanks for having me, man. You guys seem chill. I got you. 13K subscribers. You are big.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Hey, Seamus, I'm going to have to figure out something else. We might have to do a Discord thing at some point.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I apologize about the audio being a nightmare. I didn't hear the echo on my side. I'll replay the live later to kind of hear it and see if I could get somebody to consult with me on what to kind of do. I thought it was going to be a good idea. Like, I can just sync up my phone and just have the audio run through the computer like that. But now the phone's freaking out again. Let's get back to the other screen. There we go. It's like calling in a radio show. Got to turn the siren. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I'm just trying stuff out. I don't know how it works or anything, to be honest. I have no clue. But if I have to, I've seen some other people just use Discord. I mean, that's easy enough to get that connected in. And you can avoid the echo that way. Because I wonder if it's that the microphone on my iPhone is picking it up. Because I'm using like 2 microphones in that case. So, I don't know. Don't know. But hopefully soon some of these other platforms will get, like the multi-guest type feature that TikTok has, which I think is a pretty neat one. Then you can kind of bring people in just as part of the live chat if they want to kind of voice an opinion or something as well. I don't think everybody wants to do the Discord thing necessarily, but I don't know. You guys tell me how that might work. turn down the audio from the second source. Okay. I'll make a couple notes. It's hard to test some of these things too, because I tried to test on Instagram once and then they flagged it. They're like, "Oh, you're spamming." It's like, I'm trying to do a test, guys. Like, please let me just run this test so I can see if this works, if I can stream to 3 things at once or not. But anyway. CPS to the person using. Yeah, so let me bring. Let's see if we got anything else good going on the X platform at the moment. Yeah, pretty much trial and error. That's what it's going to end up being. Oh, look. Oh, never mind. I thought that was us right now. I was like, oh, how am I live on here? I didn't think I was live, but it's that video. The raw video. All right. What are these 4 things? Who's tweeting at me here? New posts. All right, let's say. I like this new feature that they got on X. I mean, they always had like, trending stuff that was specific to your interests based on what you've looked at in the past. But now they got this news button, and it's just like the top news items that everybody's talking about. Trudeau dances at Taylor Swift concert. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me, Trudeau? You guys want to see Trudeau dancing at the Taylor Swift concert? Let's see how this goes. This can't be good. Well, that's Taylor. Where's Trudeau? I want a video. I don't want just... Where's the video? Okay, I don't want to just listen to her sing. I want to... Oh, here we go. Holy cow. Whoa. Wow. All right, I'm bookmarking that one. All right, I wonder what song it is. You Don't Own Me. Oh, okay. Just thinking that. But, I mean, that got him going. I mean, he was hyped up for that song. How legit are these topics they put on X News? Well, here, let me go back. You can take a look. I mean, it's based on, what people are talking about. There's another site that I'm trying to strike a partnership with that I really do like. I'll show you guys that in a second. But here, so Trump announces key cabinet picks for second term. Musk ponders CNBC's position. Oh, geez. I hope he brings his sync with him if he does that. It's Trump's choice for Surgeon General. JFK stuff. Conor McGregor ordered to pay that much in civil assault case. Yeah. Colorado election 2024. Okay. I'm not familiar with that. Israeli airstrikes, FEMA, Trump nominees, Scott Turner. Trump wins election amidst slim vote margins. Okay. Yeah, so it's, I think this is just their first pass at it because you can see it's jumping around different topics. They'll probably kind of group them. Yeah, Justin was like hyped up. I mean, You Don't Own Me. He was, I don't know, he was probably belting that out. I wish the camera was a little bit closer to him. You don't think he's taking it seriously, calling it Doge, or you do? Tulsi Gabbard's TSA watch list episode. Bitcoin's race to under. Where are we at? Oh, we're at 98.6. Where's Avalanche? Avalanche is still over 43. Oh, barely over 43. Oh, man, it's been moving, guys. That stuff's been moving. Pakistan green. All right, so you can see, I mean, it's just news that's, people have tweeted about, talked about. They'll probably put some, location-specific stuff on it, break down categories. They just got to figure out how they want to incorporate that into the UI. I mean, that's the biggest problem to me because everything's already so crowded with all the features that have been brought in. They got sports and or maybe I'll just do it up here. What is this? I don't know what that is. Beyond getting his own company set. I'm hopeful that he will call some stuff out and take action. He got called out in one of his town halls about, if you do follow through on your $2 trillion or some of these other plans and, the agencies kind of do what you say, that's going to be a lot of job losses, which it will be. I mean, hundreds of thousands. That's going to be a tough one. But he did say that he wants to propose a 2-year severance for everybody that is displaced, which I think that should be able to cover people. Just depending on what you're up to. I mean, I don't know all the different types of roles in government that one would have and how they translate, but if they don't, that would give you an opportunity to kind of get yourself set up for something in the future. He's not a very serious individual. He has moments, but if the camera's on long enough, he'll get goofy. Two heads. Yeah, the two-headed monster thing, that's never a good idea. I can only guess what's going on there. I don't know for sure. And my guess would be that they're just operating in rotation. It's just a handoff. They're not necessarily there together. Although they said they're going to do a podcast together, didn't they? Some sort of a Doge podcast to walk through that stuff on a week-to-week basis. Elon said things will hurt and that they'll get better. Yeah, the unemployment number will go up. But if the folks are given that 2-year severance, even with the increase in the unemployment number, the economy would sustain itself. And I really think that should be plenty of time to get yourself pointed in a different direction. I mean, again, I don't know how government roles work necessarily and how they translate. I'm just not familiar with it at all. Whoa, just dropped something. Excuse me, guys. Oops. You think that he's a distraction until Trump makes his real picks? They're colluding. I don't know. I hope that there's something to it. I've always wanted, because, I mean, efficient and effective, those are not two things that is ever really spoken of in government, I mean, in my view. Hey, for the folks that are on the live still, give me some likes. I'd appreciate it. Only got 14 on there right now. I think if I can get over 20 at least, I will be on the positive side of things with the algorithm here. Oh, colliding. Federal employees get paid about that much a year. Gotcha. Let me bring up my AI, ask some questions on that. right, that thing's spinning up slowly, but it'll get there. Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate the uptick in likes there. I appreciate that very much. Is Linda McMahon the real pick? You know, it's the circles that he's in. So, I mean, he knows them. He's seen them in business, right? So what did she run? Small Business Administration last time, right? What is she doing now? What is she doing now? Let me get another. Linda Pick. Yeah. Education Secretary. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Okay. So he's bringing her in to shake things up then. It's not somebody that is an educator to help further education. He's bringing her in to shake things up. It's education, yeah. It's definitely education. Yeah. I mean, that's it. You bring somebody in that's, you know, an experienced leader, corporate restructuring, which WWE's had to restructure quite a few times over the years. And, I mean, you have to draw from those similarities. Restructured, divest, whatever it might be that they're picturing doing with it. Yeah, she did SBA. So, I mean, some of the protocols in government she should be familiar with. But, I mean, making calls on educational policy and practices, I'm sure she'll lean on other folks to help with that. It's more on the administration, execution, and spend. I'm sure that she'll have an eye on than anything else. Yep. I think everybody's aligning on that dismantling thought. I think that's exactly where it is headed. Yep. That's exactly right, guys. I think you're spot on that one. Oops. I lost my chat. Get back here. All right, let me get the little AI buddy going. All right. Oh, I was going to show you guys another. So this is the news feed that X platform has going, right? There's another site, though, I really like. So ground.news. Ground.news. I'm not sponsored by them, although I hope to be. But I just... so check this out. They aggregate news based on topics, you know, based on regions, right? So if you check this out, right, like here's a story at the top of it. Trump's FDA pick is surgeon and writer Martin Macri. Okay. So that's the pick, right? But underneath it, you could see it says 31% left. Is that 38? Yeah, 38% middle, 31% right. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? You click into it and... I'm not logged in over here. That's okay. Where's that one view? There's a view that they have that actually shows you like a breakdown of all the publications. So you can come in here, right? And it summarizes all the publications that it's got access to. And they've like rated different companies as being, you know, more center or left leaning or right leaning. And so for all the center leaning ones, they summarize what they're saying. They'll come in here and say, okay, for all the left-leaning ones, here's where they're emphasizing different points. For the right, here's what they're emphasizing, right? And just reading that little summary is kind of revealing, because sometimes you're like, oh, they left that part out or whatever, right? It gives you a nice opportunity to have like a holistic picture of things. But then, it might be that I've got the screen small so that I can fit it all into a vertical interface here. They had a nice layout where they could show you, each of the publications. You can kind of click through them, and each one of them is rated for both factuality and their political leaning. I found it to be pretty good. I'm only the third person that's ever mentioned it. Is there anything in the center besides like BBC? Well, yeah, hang on. Let's see. Click center. Let's pull up some center. Oh, that leans right. Here's center. The Globe and Mail, a Canadian publication. They say that's center. Who else is center? Reuters. Blue Water, Healthy Living. I have no idea what that is. Axios, left-leaning. So if you go to the site and you have like a normal sized browser open, again, this is just like I've squished it so it can fit on the screen here for us. But if you have a normal sized browser open, it gives you a much better interface to see the different publications and stuff. Like it'll show like a political spectrum and then just like columns as to how far different groups of, news agencies, how many of them kind of aggregate to a given story, and you can click through them and, see what New York Times is saying about something, see what New York Post is saying or whatever it is. So I look there because I want to hear all sides. I mean, I record like Rachel Maddow's show and stuff, and I watch that sometimes. I can't get through the whole thing always, but maybe I'll listen to the monologue because that at least gives you an idea of what her talking points are for the day. But I think it's this kind of stuff that we need to promote a little bit more, which I like Ground News. And again, I'm trying to see if they'll work a deal with me. We'll see. Thanksgiving week, so probably won't hear anything this week. But if they do, it'd be cool, because then it's like I'll get a code and I can offer it to everybody at a discounted rate. Although they say got a Black Friday deal. Well, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's the other one that I think is like really good. I hope that the X platform can try to do something similar, but I just I don't know how much energy they would put into it, because they're more about it being kind of like, citizen journalism to a degree, not necessarily somebody that's assessing and trying their best to be not biased and categorizing things, which is what Ground's doing, and I think they do a pretty good job of it. Any American... Oh, wait, hold on. I'm missing some stuff here. Any Americans... I think... Did they put Politico in the center? Here, let's pick a different story. Like, let's go see what's going on with Donald Trump. The Hill, they say center. Newsweek, they say center. Yeah, you'll have to click through on each one of these to kind of get to whatever. you got to skip 20 minutes of the beginning if you try to watch her. That's funny. I guess it's one or the other. Like I can only kind of handle up to the monologue, and then I can't listen anymore. The one that I really have difficulty with is Joy Reid. That's really difficult one. That one's a hard one for me to kind of listen on. But from time to time, it's like, okay, well, what the heck is she saying? Because there's a group of folks that, are totally fans and followers of each of these personalities. So you just get an idea of where people are at, because they just kind of like take that in, and that's their reality for the day. or the week or whatever it is. Yep. All right. Let's see if anything interesting pops up in my feed. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. They really hit me with this ad. That's pretty good targeting there, huh? What is this? Jaguar, if you don't like our ad, you're intolerant. Oh, this is the new Jaguar ad? I haven't seen it yet. Let's see. All right, so the new Jaguar ad, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but let's let it roll. Guess you don't need to have a car in the commercial anymore, huh? Let me just give that a quick repost. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Oh, wow. Getting pretty serious here on some of these.
Britain, Germany, France.
What's Lindsay
If you
saying?
try to help the ICC, we're going to sanction you.
Well, that means I want every ally, and you saw little Justin in Canada and his position. What should the penalty be?
We should crush your economy because we're next. Why can't? So to any ally, Canada, Britain, Germany, France, if you try to help the ICC, we're going to sanction you.
Well, that means I want every ally, and you saw little Justin in Canada and his position. What should the penalty be?
That they want full war.
Is this Gavin?
It's not about voters. I care about people. I don't care who you voted for. I care about people. I care about Trump supporters. I care about RFK Jr. supporters. I care about Tucker Carlson supporters. I care about Charlie Kirk supporters. I care about Ben Shapiro supporters. I care about all people. I care about the people living here in the Sierra, folks down in San Diego where I just was, or in my backyard in Fair Oaks, California. I care about people, and I care about protecting them, their public safety, and their public health. And I care about being honest with them as well, and level setting with them. This is not an academic exercise.
I'm gonna close that up here in a minute.
Experience with Donald Trump.
I'm about to pass out. I'm falling asleep. Mind is shutting down. But thanks everybody for joining for the 10th edition of Political ASMR. I don't know. I'm hoping we get to 100 here, and I could figure. I don't know. Once you get to like 75 or something, is that when you start planning for a giveaway or something? I guess. So as we get close, I'll plan something. All right, Mitchell, see ya. Everybody that's on here, appreciate it. on your way out, if you can, give the live a like. Let's see if I could get bumped up over 20. That would be really cool. Help me with the algorithm next go around. I had about 6,300 folks come through. Try and do it more, a little bit earlier. Get before midnight on East Coast and Central Time. If I could get started then. That might be pretty good then at that point. But I don't know, guys. Stay safe. Enjoy Turkey Day. Make sure you spend time with family, friends. But I mean, seriously, stay safe. Don't do any of the drinking and driving stuff. Not worth it. Till we meet again, I will leave you with my theme song.
She exposes, she ignites. With every post she does the work, unmasking darkness, revealing light. Political cow, not thinking right. Unveiling truth, vanishing light. Of every post, she does the work, unmasking darkness, revealing light. One world, political cow. Icons crumble and I fall. She stands tall, fierce and cold. Her voice echoes a thunderous call. In the chaos, the strength unfolds. Prophets scatter, truth ascends. The world watches, mesmerized. Political cows battle never ends. In her light, dark resets to lies. Political cow, not thinking right. Unveiling truth, vanishing light. From every post, she does the work, unmasking darkness, revealing light. One world, political cow, not thinking right. Unveiling truth, vanishing light. Her voice cuts through, stark and raw, shattering deception, breaking the law. Political cow. Political cow. Political cow. Political cow. The wicked rise, unveiling truth, vanishing light. Her voice cuts through, stark and raw, shattering deception, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Political cow. Icons crumble, empires fall. She stands tall, fierce and cold. Her voice comes a thunderous call. In the chaos, her strength unfolds. Prophets scatter, truth ascends. The world watches. Political cows battle never ends. In her light, dark reaches to lies.